Hello again, and our main match this afternoon comes from Goodison Park, and that's Everton against West Bromwich Albion. And it prompted some really significant comments afterwards by the Albion manager Ronnie Allen when he was questioned about the future of Brian Robson.
I think that it's got to be clear-cut in the next couple of weeks what's going to happen to him, because we can't keep going on like this. I mean, you keep asking me about it. I'm sick of the whole situation.
George Best, who wants to return to Manchester United, didn't show up for a meeting with United manager Ron Atkinson last night. Bob Lord, the Burnley chairman, is selling his controlling block of shares in the club, but he said today that he's not leaving the board, where he served for 26 years. We'll have more of the day's news a little later. But let's start at Goodison Park, where conditions really were atrocious yesterday. Driving rain, which obviously made for a heavy pitch. But at least the Everton fans gave a warm reception to one of their former heroes, Andy King, who was making his debut for West Brom. Your commentator is Martin Tyler.
There's a different look to Everton's midfield today because of a hamstring injury to Alan Ainscough. Steve McMahon is recalled, which means that Trevor Ross is switched to a wider role. And Eamon O'Keefe, who scored as a substitute in midweek against Notts County, now plays from the start in place of Peter Eastoe, who hasn't shaken off a Friday morning training injury. Albion's problems are in the centre of their defence, with both John Wile's natural partners, Alistair Robertson and Martin Bennett, unfit. So Brian Robson takes on that role after missing 2 games with a bruised foot. Gary Owen is also fit again, and there's also a place for 20-year-old Nicky Cross. There's been so much rain, in fact, that the referee asked for the pitch lines to be remarked shortly before the kick-off. West Bromwich Albion in this first half defending the goal to our left, looking to end a run of 4 games without a goal. Mills again the target. Dropped for Steve McMahon. Mackenzie for Andy King. Here's Cross. Starting a league game for only the second time. Playing the 1-2 with King. And Nicky Cross going on. And good handling from Jim Arnold. The greasy conditions helping goalkeepers as Cross swept it in. Touch from McMahon as he was being held by John Wile. Here's Lyons driving forward. Well, it drew an ooh from the crowd. I don't think Tony Godden was too worried. Always passing over the Albion bar. The header from right. Albion feeling they've been playing well enough in the middle of the field and making chances. Concerned, of course, that their run has gone for some 6 hours of football without a goal. Collision that was spectacular between Batson and Ratcliffe. Batson has come off slightly the worse. Here's Steve McMahon. Now Ross. Thomas calling for it and getting it. Leaving David Mills. Biley's gone to the near post, and it's Biley with the spectacular effort. Alan Biley at the moment looking to recapture the impact that he made in the opening 2 games of the season for Everton when he scored in both those games. And Mickey Thomas picking him out well here. The volley just hooked wide. Is he quick to close down Hartford when he's in possession? And King doing the same. Here's Cross, and it's Mills meeting it, and the flag was up. As David Mills got ahead of his marker, scored a penalty on the opening day of the season, but really hasn't recaptured the scoring form he showed at Middlesbrough. While reading the attention of Thomas. smaller man strikes back. Hartford. Here's O'Keefe. Now Ratcliffe. And Bailey. A deep cross from Kevin Ratcliffe and a clean jump from Bailey. So the two Everton attempts in the first 25 minutes of any consequence have both come from Alan Bailey. Mills doing well to ease it on here for Cross, and it deflects off Walsh, and so close to deflecting inside that near post. Cross was content really just to drive it across as a shot come ball into the path of Regis, who was arriving, but the deflection off Walsh. Nicky Cross with the corner. And it goes behind again off Mike Lyons. Weil coming off the near post, and Ross was there for Everton. And McMahon, not the cleanest of headers. Forward from Nicky Cross. John Weil had stayed forward, and Mills couldn't collect the header. Weil as competitive as ever. But O'Keefe rifling it into the net, but the whistle had gone, and that may explain Tony Gordon's rather half-hearted efforts to stop the shot, but the crowd certainly enjoyed it. And you could just see the referee blowing the whistle as O'Keefe let fly. It's a free kick that Hartford takes, and Statham clears. Out from Weil. This is Billy Wright, and it'll break here for O'Keefe, but not into his stride. And tidied up calmly by Nicky Cross. Conceding the corner. Been one or two uncertain moments in this opening half hour for Everton. This time Gary Owen has gone across to take the corner with his left foot. For Batson, and here's Regis trying to collect, and he did the difficult part and couldn't produce the shot. It was a superb piece of control, and then as it dropped to be struck at goal, Regis got it all wrong. And Thomas offside. Just a back flick from Regis, but almost made something for Mills. King going on, Andy King for David Mills, and again Albion halted by an offside call. But Andy King, just for a moment, working himself into a position where perhaps a debut goal against his old club was on the cards, opted instead to reverse it inside for Mills. Mr. Huff wants a word after an off-the-ball incident. between McMahon and King. Andy King, who was such a popular player here with the fans. Hartford unable to collect, but Lyons putting on enough pressure to bring Everton a corner. Curled in by Thomas. Godden's punch was solid. Thomas again. O'Keefe, good goalkeeping. Here's Bailey. Everton looking to keep up the impetus with Walsh. O'Keefe. Time for Statham, but it was Eamon O'Keefe a moment or two earlier whose little flick header there produced good reflexes from Tony Godden. Swept wide by David Mills to the path here of Owen. Three waiting in the middle for Albion, and here's Statham. Struck Steve McMahon, who was able to readjust. To pick a way through, and Walsh has to put it out. But before the corner can be used to any profit, the half-time whistle goes. A goalless first half in which there has been much to admire in Albion's work in midfield, where Andy King has settled in well, but a rather disjointed first 45 minutes from Everton. Half-time at Goodison Park, Everton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. I expect Everton to hope to create more from the middle of the field. Against the West Bromwich Albion side, who still haven't solved their current dilemma, that of putting the ball in the opposition's net. Lyons. Mackenzie easily winning it back for Albion. Regis lets it run, and Mills onside, in against Arnold, and the goalkeeper comes out on top, and it's driven back by Owen, but another opportunity passes West Bromwich Albion by. Everton will feel that Mills was offside in the first place, but the flag stayed down. The fact that Albion have gone so long without a goal seemed to play a part in David Mills's mind. He wanted to make sure. Given away by Ratcliffe. Regis taking too long and allowing Walsh to effect the recovery. Mills could drop for him again, and Arnold getting his body behind it, although the handling wasn't totally clean. David Mills wasting no time as the ball dropped for him, snatching the shot. Flag up again. The referee allowing play to go on. The flag was for offside. Owen, it's up again. The referee ignores the offside flag. Here's Mills. Some confusion between the officials then. I think the first time the judgment was that the Albion player was was interfering with play. When it went up a second time, the referee didn't see it. Caught by Robson and reacted angrily to the tackle. And here's Batson. Regis' shot. The chance for Owen. It's in the net, and it's offside. So West Bromwich Albion must wonder what they've got to do to get a goal chalked up. Mills played it in. Batson kept running. Watch Regis arrive here. It comes off Arnold. Owen plants it in, but an offside decision says it doesn't count. And Jim Arnold didn't escape the legacy of that collision with Cyril Regis, although he can smile about it. And Howard Kendall has come down from his seat in the stand. One wonders whether he was thinking of changing the Everton pattern anyway with the introduction of McBride. As Everton now look to make their substitution. Steve McMahon being called off to be replaced by Joe McBride. Ross. Getting it back from O'Keefe. Bailey through the middle, and here's McBride. Naturally left-sided. Getting a free kick for obstruction. Touch that almost came too quickly for Joe McBride, attuning to the pace of the game. He held possession long enough to find himself fouled. Hartford over the ball. Lions scores! Well, they've waited some time in this game to have something to cheer about, but Mike Lyons provides it. The clip free kick, Lyons ducking his head, getting in first, and it ends up in the back of the net. Minutes played in the second half. Here's Owen. And now Albion have a free kick in an almost identical position. Diving in, Weil, who was the player running with Lyons as Albion conceded the goal, and looks to redress the situation. Hartford. Pride. Beautifully away from Batson. Regular, of course, for much of last season, Joe McBride, with a place to really play for now. The corner entrusted to Ross. Right! So close. The back flick from Billy Wright. Walsh. Went out of Thomas. Everton with this back flick from Billy Wright, thwarted by fine work from Godden and the crossbar. Thomas with a touch. Stayed playing it straight to Ross as he gifted it. Well, it won't count. Bailey was in an offside position. How relieved Derek Statham will be, because he was here with nowhere to go. But you look at the position there of Alan Bailey. Lyons. Owen finding the bounce too much for him. His disallowed goal now looking even more significant. Bailey making it back for Statham. Statham just checking as Weil makes his way forward again. This is Mills. Ross. And it's O'Keefe against Batson. And McBride in acres of space on the far side. Batson still doing the covering. And McBride so close to a spectacular goal on the break. And McBride has it again from a poor clearance by Godden. And Bailey turns it wide and appeals for a corner. Everton breaking initially here with O'Keefe, showing good vision. McBride opting, as he saw Batson coming across, to try the shot. Like a foul throw by Mills, and that's the way the referee's seen it as well. Came off Bailey. Mills. Here's Statham. Perhaps the last chance now for Albion. Owen thwarted by Thomas. Everton are now only injury time away from their second home victory of the week. While beaten by Ratcliffe, Bailey's job really is to make Batson play it back. Fouls him in the process. So it's still not over. Regis. And right, it's one that the fans appreciate. It's certainly the highest of the day. John Weil up for the long throw again. Uses cross instead. But the throw-in is taken too long, and the Everton supporters salute a victory provided by one of the club's most loyal servants, Mike Lyons' header in the end, the difference between the two sides. Everton still really short of the consistency that Howard Kendall will demand. And as for West Bromwich Albion, they must trudge off to the dressing room, having now gone 7.5 hours of football without a goal.
Let's bring in Dennis Law with his observations on that match between Everton and West Bromwich Albion. Dennis.
Well, Howard Kendall, the Everton manager, has been very worried about the number of goals conceded from set pieces by his team, and he says he has a lot to do to it. But on yesterday's evidence, there were 2 or 3 occasions where they were guilty of bad marking from corners, particularly from this Mackenzie corner, the former Manchester City player, where we see Gary Owen completely unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. Now Gary Owen takes the next corner. Again, we could see players marking space instead of players, Andy King being allowed to be free on the edge of the penalty area. Now the third corner, again taken by Gary Owen. This time he plays it short to Brendan Batson, completely again on his own. Now Batson helps the ball on to Regis at the far post. And this was a lucky escape for Everton because Regis' ball control was lovely here, but unfortunately he completely miskicked. Now Howard Kendall knows the problems there, and he knows he's got to tighten up in the defence. Now the second point regarding the officials, the way that they handle the game. Now I'm not having a go at referees. I think they've got a very, very difficult job, but there were some decisions in the second half which mystified me. And John Hough, in particularly 2 incidents in the second half, where it had a vital bearing on the game. The first concerned the disallowed goal by Gary Owen. Now the move is started by Brendan Batson, plays the ball to Mills, goes for the return, and it's here that Cyril Regis comes into the picture, and it's his shot that is saved by Jim Arfield. Now Regis can't do anything, he's got to carry on. Now it's the decision is made there as Owen strikes the ball, Regis in an offside position, but is he interfering with play? I say no, and I thought it was quite a legal goal. The disappointment on Gary Owen's face is there to see. And another incident in the second half, about 5 or 6 minutes later, concerned the free kick given by the linesman when Joe McBride collided into Cross. The linesman gave the decision. Now it was a vital decision because it eventually led to the goal scored by Mick Lyons, which gave Everton a victory. Now when you think that the importance of that to the game, and I'm not having a go at the referee and linesman because there were many more incidents in the second half which I could have pulled out and shown. But I think what we've got to look for is a bit of more consistency. And I just wonder how many points the assessor gave the referee and his linesman after the game.
Well, for our next game, we follow Manchester United to Arsenal, and with Frank Stapleton returning to Highbury for the first time since his £1 million move to United. And of course, amongst the crowd was George Best, who some people feel might be returning to Old Trafford. Well, we join it in the first half. Brian Moore's the commentator, and United are in the white shirts.
So Manchester United in a change strip of white shirts and black shorts get us away, attacking the goal to our left. Where they have not very happy memories. They've not won here in their last 12 league games. And already Frank Stapleton being baited with the Arsenal reject tag. Well, he'll have plenty that he wants to prove to the Arsenal fans and to the travelling Manchester United fans as well here today. Jennings. Frank Stapleton, in fact, was given a bunch of flowers when he arrived at Highbury by an Arsenal fan, which was a nice gesture. And of course, the first game for an Arsenal shirt for the number 9 there, John Hawley. Nicholas playing this long ball here towards Collins. He did nicely there towards the near post, and Talbot was almost in there, and Manchester United were nearly conceding a goal in the opening minute of the game, back for the quick reactions of Gary Bailey. Talbot, who scored against Birmingham City on Tuesday. A good ball played in there by Collins, and a ricochet, as you could see there, very nearly catching him out. Wilkins to Albiston. For Manchester United. Cut out by Hollins. Here's Hawley. Curry. Stapleton, a beautiful layoff there for Wilkins. A lovely pass played on here for Birtles. Koppel. Was available, but Hollins was back and doing some harassing, and the ball played too firmly for Hawley to gather, so Buchan gets it for Manchester United. It's Arthur Albiston again. Really nicely that for Stapleton, and touch back for Birtles, and it might come for Birtles again with a left foot shot just wide. Curry was right in there as well, but it didn't quite fall for Birtles as he wanted to, but he still got the shot in. There by Stapleton, and it just didn't quite fall, as you could see there, for Birtles or there, and although it beat Jennings, it went past the post.
So just 2 moments of goalmouth excitement during the first half. In fact, the only player to display the type of skill you'd expect was Paul Davis, Arsenal's midfield player, who was a late replacement for Graham Ricks, surprisingly injured in a pre-match warm-up 45 minutes before the start. Well, we pick it up in the second half. No goals so far, so let's rejoin Brian Moore.
Davis again, neatly hurdling Goodman. That was a good bit of skill by the young number 11. And in the end, perseverance got the ball through to Brian Talbot. Getting towards that byline, it was Goodman who held him off in the end. Moses, who knocked it away for the throw. There's Arsenal's throw. Kenny Sanson with it. Young. Shadowed him all the way up there. It might just have left a gap through there, but United got it away again. Here's Willie Young once more. Looking for a way to get past Moses. Now leaves that to Sanson to try. When to get to that byline, the deflection came off Moses. And in the end, it had Gary Bailey in a little bit of trouble. And might just easily have floated in. And it was a deflection that made it that way. There was the deflection. Bailey pondering where it was going to go, and in the end could take no chances. Collins takes this corner, quickly there towards it. Willie Young trying a backward header, but just a little too much on it. And so it's a goal kick to Manchester United. Can force an error out of him, which he's done. Ryan Stapleton. And United get a throw off Brian Talbot. Which Goodman will take. And Goodman's cross coming in. Oh, there's some misunderstanding there in the Arsenal defence. And even then, Sanson's header only coming out as far as Wilkins, and his shot is charged down by Kenny Sanson, who realised he had to do something to put things right. Sanson, I think, with an injured hand. Manchester United retreating, and Arsenal with a free kick. Collins. Towards Sunderland. Davis now, he let one fly. He has, but it's wide. Well, there's a shot that was going wide, but this young man is as confident as anybody in at least having a bang at goal. Sunderland. Davis, Collins, in there, and they claim handball, and the referee doesn't want to know, shaking his head there, and Arsenal claiming there was a handball there by Goodman. Whether we can see here or not, as the ball comes in, well, it may well have been, and it's hard to see from that angle, but Sunderland bringing the ball in there, Bailey gathering it at the near post. The angle wasn't good from that camera there, but you have to say that referee Bray was right bang on the scene and said no penalty. Bertels, the cross coming in, Stapleton wondering if he'll get to it, Sanson knowing that he can. Queen, it's a good ball played here for Wilkins. Now let's see what the control's like and the ability to get the better of Davis, and in the end, oh, lovely play by young Paul Davis, and the crowd rising to that. Talbot. Davis. not enjoying this young man's performance. The ball throwing clear to Sunderland. He couldn't control it, but at least Arsenal get a throw. And I think Paul Davis only came in at the very last moment when Graham Rix was injured in the warm-up. Nicholas. Crawley trying to get to this one, but it was a good jump again by McQueen. Hollins playing it. There was a lot of pace back there for Devine, but he controlled it well. The little cross coming in, the little touch by Sunderland, and it was Moses who got it away for United. Birtles playing it now for Coppell. A United fan, I think I'd be keen also to see Coppell dancing down the right touchline, trying to get to the byline a bit. He hasn't looked once as though he's going to get to the byline away on that left-hand side. United. Alveston having won it with a little bit of determination down by the flag, and Coppell with it. McQueen again on the line. Birtles right in there. Oh, and Jennings punching it out there. Stapleton just over the top. Well, it was an Arsenal deflection in the first place that put Jennings into trouble, and he could only paw it away. Stapleton guided the header in so close. And that was Buchan holding back Sunderland. Sunderland playing it in there. That was Buchan who got it away. Davis. Getting the better of Goodman. The cross coming in is Macari right back there who got it away as far as Talbot. Played there now for Nicholas to drive a tremendous shot. Beautifully saved by Bailey. And United bring it away with Coppell. Brilliant piece of action there, and the Manchester United players in fact are applauding Bailey for a truly brilliant save from a real rifling shot there from Peter Nicholas. What a good save. Now Birtles. Talbot. Sanson, who played such a big part in opening up Manchester United a moment ago. Running out of space, but still gets a good cross in. Oh! And it could be Hollins charged down, and Bailey again making a superb save after that lovely work by Sanson had left him groping at thin air. Sanson at his best on these occasions. He was running out of space all the way along here. Whipped in a good cross. Bailey was in trouble, but then dived bravely at the feet of Hollins. Sanson with a... Now Sunday. Davis. Going for Alveston. Coppell turning it on. His turn to Birtles, who's got Stapleton up with him, and plenty of Arsenal shirts are coming back. Birtles heavily outnumbered, but nonetheless finds its way through to Stapleton and into the side netting. There was a chance there, fleetingly, for Frank Stapleton to come back and celebrate with a goal at night. Birtles battled away, on to Stapleton, just into the side netting.
And that disappointing goalless draw was watched by George Best, who's been saying over the past couple of days that he would like to return to Old Trafford. Well, Best was scheduled to meet the United manager Ron Atkinson last night, but he didn't turn up. Atkinson told us, "I understood he was going to call round to the hotel last night, but he didn't show. He knew where I was. I'd invited him to be there around 8 o'clock. However, Atkinson is still prepared to meet Best and to give him the opportunity of proving that his attitude, fitness and ability can benefit Manchester United, but he will not offer Best a contract at this stage. Well, our final action on the programme this afternoon is the game between Nottingham Forest and Brighton. And despite all their internal troubles of late, Forest were unbeaten at home beforehand, whilst Brighton hadn't lost away. ITV cameras were there. Hugh Johns is the commentator, and with Brighton in the all-dark strip, we can show you the main highlights.
Ball slowed up on this treacherous surface. Smith now for Brighton, working well. Grealish. Williams holds his hand up, says, here I am. Ball in. Back to McNabb. Looks good. Case is on for a pass. Turned. Cross in. Knocked out by Burns, only to Smith. He buried that neatly. 1-0 Brighton. Gordon Smith's first goal of the season. And he really did that beautifully. Jimmy Case, the chip across. Burns got a touch and in fact delivered it directly to Smith. Then Chilton's got no chance from that moment on. Mills thumping that forward, Shanks high in the air. Robinson under this as Burns challenges. Gray. Long one for Fashanu. He's onside. He's all right. Wallace scurrying to get into the middle. He checks, plays it back to Robertson, who's in the bog there. Did well. Wallace. What a fine piece of football then by John Robertson. And what an excellent challenge that was by Ian Wallace. Ball off Foster's head, will drop for Robertson. Case comes to help out, and Shanks, the ball's over the line. That's a corner. There's no way that Mosley should argue with that, and he could get himself booked. The ball was, even from here you could see the ball was well over the line. So the corner given. Robertson over the ball. Got Kenny Burns on the near post. Fashanu a touch. And that's belted in then by Proctor. And actually hit Grealish on the back of the neck and goes away for a corner. That was a tremendous drive then from Proctor. So Proctor's going to take the corner now. Burns couldn't quite get up there. It's Proctor again. Chip in, and Mosley has it. Robertson gets encouragement from the Forest supporters. They're pressing up behind this attack and tries a long one, and that was a very fine effort then by Mosley. Free kick taken. Now it's Anderson. Mills. Toe poke pass in to Burns. Brighton come out. It's a goalkeeper's ball. Well, it might have been if he'd come, but he didn't. One back by Anderson, now it's Mills. Anderson, the ball screws away off the boot of Smith, that's a corner. Brighton now bring everybody back bar Robinson. He's the only player up the field as Mills prepares to take the corner. Here's Mills. That's Burns turning it right the way across. Case knocks it out. McGovern in again. And it was finally Shanks got the header away. Now it's Robinson. Burns knocking it down to McGovern. And surely Burns is going to stick that in, and the linesman's flag is up to my right. Referee Tilsley waves everybody away. The goal stands. Certainly the linesman below me, that's Mr. Priest, had his flag up when Kenny Burns trickled that ball over the line. There's still a whole flock of players around the referee. Here's McGovern. There he goes in, and Burns knocks it in. Williams. Ritchie with Anderson at his back. She did well. Burns got there. Ritchie again, hit firmly. Skids away off the boot of Robinson over the top. Forrest coming back through Gray. McGovern. Proctor. McGovern again. Good drive by John McGovern. Right, got to get themselves organised again. Kenny Burns laying that off to Robertson. Robertson attacking Shanks. Good running by Proctor, and that forces a corner of Steve Gatty. There's about 3 minutes to go. And 1-1 the score. Forrest then with a corner from Robertson. Burns, and Wallace sticks it in, and it's 2-1, and that could be the clincher. Kenny Burns and Wallace together, and Wallace gets the goal, his 5th of the season. It's 2-1 Nottingham Forest. Just over 42 minutes gone. And look at the part that Ken Burns played in this goal, as Robertson takes this swinging corner. Bad cover by Brighton. Burns down. Mosley had it, lost it, and Wallace punishes them immediately.
And that's how it ended, 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. Well, that's all this afternoon on a day when the importance of the news has rather overshadowed the action. But at least we were treated to one spectacular goal at Everton, the type of goal which is always likely to come from the scorer, Mick Lyons. Good afternoon.
As I was marking John Wire, it was very, very similar. As we both dived to head the ball, I think he got his arm up and I ended up heading against his hand, and it went to him and he headed it in, so obviously we owed them one back.
Hartford over the ball. Lyons